Hey y'all, guess what we're doing today? We're cooking father and daughter style.
Hi everybody.
This is my daughter Jennifer. What are we making?
We're making smoked lobster mac and cheese.
On the smoker.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
All right, let's get started on today's lobster mac and cheese. This is a roux-based mac and cheese, which I know there's a lot of different types of way to mac and cheese, but this is my family's favorite and the most requested at all the holidays. So before we get started with all of our ingredients here, I want to make sure that you have your water coming to a boil. That way you can pour your pound of pasta in there, and that's going to cook while you're cooking. This is a very fast-paced recipe, so I like to have everything laid out and ready to go.
I like big blocks and I can't out loud.
Get yourself some high-quality cheese and a husband who's really good at cutting cheese. Get yourself some high-quality Vermont cheddar. You can use Gouda or any type of white cheese that you prefer. It just has to come in a block because you have to hand grate it yourself. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of work, but you know what? That's what husbands and boyfriends are for. That way you don't have to do it. Our water's boiling, so we're going to go ahead and add in our pasta. You need 16 ounces or a pound of whatever type you prefer. We like elbows or the spirally ones that holds onto the cheese better. You're going to cook it till it's al dente, because if you overcook it, it's going to go in the oven later and it's going to turn to mush. Hands washed, hair up, we're ready to go. We're going to start with our roux base, which is 1 stick of butter or half a cup. It can be salted or unsalted, your choice. It will not affect the recipe because you can always salt after. So we're going to go ahead and get that going on probably a medium-high heat. We're going to let that melt for a second, and then we're going to start pouring in our half cup of flour. So we have our stick of melted butter here, and we're going to start by just slowly sprinkling in our flour. And this is what's going to make our roux base very similar to a gravy. And once you get a little bit of what's sprinkled in kind of well and thoroughly mixed, you can sprinkle in a little bit more. And you're going to continue that until you have a nice looking roux. So you're going to want to make sure that your butter and flour are thoroughly mixed with no clumps, and then you can go ahead and add your spices. So you're going to do half a tablespoon of pepper here. And then if you're using traditional table salt, you're going to want to use 1 tablespoon, but if you're using sea salt coarse, you're going to want to go ahead and do 2. So now that our roux is seasoned, we're going to start with 4 cups of whole milk, and you're going to slowly pour this in, and your arm's going to get tired, so stay ready for a workout. But you're going to mix it with your flour base here. And you're going to pour a little bit, pause, make sure it's thoroughly mixed. You're going to want to get rid of any of these clumps here. It's going to thicken up really fast, and that's what we want to see. So you want to get that throughout the entire mixture, and then you'll add a little more, and you'll continue till you're done.
Hey Jenny, why are you using a metal whisk?
I broke the other one.
Really? How many have you broken now?
None. I have broken none. I have never broken a whisk before. It's not a normal thing. It's fine.
All right, what you doing?
Okay, so I have not stopped whisking this entire time. I've added all 4 cups of my milk, and I am waiting for it to get thicker. So you'll kind of see, you can kind of start to see it bubble a little bit here. So that means it's getting close. So this is a texture thing, not a time. Southern Heart has to come out and tell you when it's done. So right now it's still a little too runny. If I were to use my whisk, you could see it just drips right off. You're looking for kind of a weighted drip to it, just like a gravy. So we got a few more minutes to go, but it's almost there. Okay, so we're aggressively boiling here, so I know that we're pretty much done. So I can tell because when I take my whisk, you're getting a much slower drip, so here in 30 seconds. And also you can tell because when the drip hits the bottom, it's going to leave a mark into it. And so it's looking more like a gravy based upon its texture. So we're going to go ahead and turn the heat down and get ready to mix our mac and cheese. Okay, don't put that in there. I swear I'll kill you. Okay, so you can take your butter, and we're going to go ahead and butter the bottom of our dishes here, and make sure you get up on the sides. All right, thoroughly drain your pasta. You do not need to save any pasta water for this recipe. You're going to take your pasta, and you're going to start pouring it into your dishes. I would probably suggest only filling it about halfway because we do need to mix quite a bit of cheese and any type of protein that you want as well. We have our freshly grated cheese. Make sure it's freshly grated. If you get the pre-shredded stuff, has additives, it just doesn't melt right. So here we have 2 different types. We picked sharp Vermont, which is my favorite, and a mild cheddar, but Gouda, Havarti are all great options, whatever you prefer. So you're going to take this and you're going to thoroughly coat the tops of your pasta. And you're not going to stir anything in yet. You're just going to want to get everything nice and coated in that cheese. So the recipe calls for 6 cups, but my husband and my in-laws, they like their cheese, so we do a little bit of extra. Call this cheese day.
Per request, we added more cheese to this because cheesier is better. So now we're going to add a lobster. Start by sprinkling this in. And I find it best just to get all up in that. Oh God, I'm making a mess.
That's part of the gig here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay, we're almost there. So we're gonna start by making our topping, our breadcrumb topping. So you go ahead and you pre-brown this. So I go ahead and that butter that we use to butter the pans, I throw the entire stick in there, and we're gonna get that nice and melted. And then we're gonna do about 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. We're gonna get that nice and browned.
That's a lot of butter, Jenny.
Yeah, we're from the South here. We're not afraid of butter. What's cholesterol, right?
Yeah, so I've got this theory that the more oil and butter in your blood, the faster it flows through. So it kind of like greases the skids and makes you healthier.
Well, yeah, think about it. I mean, if it's nice and oily, then all that nastiness is going to slide right on through, right?
Mm-hmm. Right up
So
the
get
booty.
this evenly coated with all that delicious butter, and then we're just going to brown it. Make sure you don't burn it. So we get this nice and brown, just like that, just like so. And we're going to sprinkle it on top of our mac and cheese. Sprinkle that over, spread it out nice and even.
I feel my arteries hardening already.
You know, carbs don't count on Sundays.
Nice.
These carbs are for the Lord. So
Set the smoker to 350 degrees and let it roll. Slide in that mac and cheese. Get that mac and cheese off the smoker. You ready to try this?
yeah,
Cheers.
I'm ready.
Oh, Jenny. That is sick.
The smokiness from the smoker, that's next
yeah.
level. A lobster. Oh man.
The lobster. It's a meal in itself.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, y'all. Seriously? This is the only mac and cheese? Giddy up.
Giddy up.